So we'll start having a look at the arrival. So what we do is that we check the recall. There's no problems there. We've not had any failures or anything. There's no notes obviously associated with failure. And then we look at the FMC to choose the arrival. So as you can see, when you hit departure arrival, at the moment it still gives us the arrival for Dubai, basically until we get about halfway across the route, halfway distance of the flight plan route. Still the FMC still looks back to the departure airport for like a return to the departure airport, and once we've passed the halfway mark, or 400 miles, but in this case on this route it will be the halfway mark, then the computer looks at the destination airport. Another thing as well that the computer does, or the system does, is to look at the departure airport initially, is on the pressurization. The landing altitude is set for the departure airport. On this route is not gonna show a difference because Doha is also at sea level, so it will be 0. But if for example the destination airport was like 500 feet elevation, then I would still at this stage it will still show the elevation of Dubai and then show the elevation of the destination once we pass the halfway mark. So that's a little thing to know about the aircraft system and how it works. Right, so as we still have Dubai arrivals, we'll go to the index and then we'll take OTHH arrival, and then it's giving us the arrivals for Doha. So we'll go ILS 34 right, and what is the Afnan 1 Echo, so we'll execute that. Okay, so from Afnan 12,000 or below, Ruvex 8,000 above, Lovan 8,000 or below and 220 knots. Muxed, Lagma, yeah, that's correct. And then 4,000 feet going towards Ginot. Okay, that's good. We'll go autobike 3. Make the first exit. With active sky next is 12205, isn't it?
Abbreviated briefing from your current position to Oscar, Mike, Delta, Bravo 2, Oscar, Tango, Hotel, Hotel. No SIGMETs active for your route of flight. No AirMets active for your route of flight. Current weather conditions, Oscar, Mike, Alpha, Zulu, wind 317 at 16, visibility 1.
No, so maybe 122025.
Oscar, Tango, Hotel, Hotel, airport information, Mike 1100, Zulu, weather, wind 328 at 17, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 15, dew point 5, QNH 1025, advice on initial contact, you have information, Mike, Oscar, Tango, Hotel, Hotel, airport information, Mike 1100, Zulu, weather, wind 328 at 17, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 15, dew point 5, QNH 1025, advice on initial contact, you have information, Mike, Oscar, Tango, Hotel.
Okay, so the wind is about 320 at 70 knots, 10 kilometers, sky clear, yeah. QNH 1025, 15 degrees. Winter time. And the last thing to do is to set the VREF. So we go on the on this actually. It shows fuel 7 tons on landing. So we'll add the landing fuel to the 0 fuel weight we entered earlier on. So 215.2 plus 7 tons of fuel. That will give us a landing weight of 222.2. So we'll go back to the approach ref page, 222.2. we enter here. 222.2. Enter it here, and the gross weight is give us a flap 3141, and that's it. Yeah, it's all good. Rostfinger Gaming, it's a good question about the charts. Sometimes the charts are in the EFB here instead of having what I call, you may have heard me say that before, what I would call the lunch box there, which is basically you just flip that that little like cover, and then the flap like opens up and you have a big space where the EFB, or you know, the electronic flight bag, or like it's like a computer, can fit in there. So if you have the computer in there, you can use the charts directly from there. Otherwise, we've got like navigation bags with the charts, or sometimes like also like a little kind of laptop or some sort of like tablet with the charts on them. So there's like kind of three options: either the computer here on by the side, or otherwise the paper charts, kind of standard paper charts, or otherwise like I have a little laptop or like tablet sort of yeah, thing. So there's these are the three options really. If we have the paper charts, it's the job of whatever it's called, like flight support or navigation support or whatever, to do the updates. We don't really look into them. And for the electronic version as well, it's done by engineering or whoever does that. Alright, briefing. So I need to do that for FS to crew to know what I'm gonna do. So I'll play this very quickly. And that's it. I may have my chart now. So the minimum's 240. Oops, 240 is.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be arriving via ATC vectors. As for the approach, we can expect the ILS. The decision altitude for this approach is 240 feet. For the landing configuration, we'll use flaps 30. The landing runway condition is dry, and on the auto brake, we'll use level 3. After landing, please turn on the APU. The arrival airport uses ASDEX, so leave the transponder on after landing. It looks like we'll be expecting a gate today. Taxi route will be assigned by ATC. As for concerns, both the weather and terrain are both factors for the arrival. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, that's the approach briefing complete.
Cool. We get the FMC message, reset MCP altitude. So because we're gonna fly the whole arrival, I'll take it easy. We'll fly in VNAV. I'll set the ILS platform altitude of 3,000 feet. Idle.
Check.
Okay, so it came back a little bit on the speed, and then once the speed is back to the descent speed, then the aircraft starts the descent. Very good. Descent checklist.
Stand by. Descent checklist. Recall checked. Notes.
Checked.
Auto brake level 3. Landing data.
VREF is 141, minimums 240 feet.
VREF 141. Minimums 240 feet. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
Transition level, altimeters reset 1025.
1025. Set.
Only 91, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, good day to you. Mature Gamer HD, thank you very much for the hosting. Yeah, we do at the moment still have the paper charts in the flight deck as backup, yeah, in case the electronic version is kaput, yeah. FMC message, drag required. The speed is good, so I don't see why I should do this. So actually, Lutzen to kind of talk about the speed management and the descent. Maybe I won't actually follow the arrival and bypass the arrival a little bit. As you can see here on the screen there on the navigation display, kind of turns right, left, left, right again. So maybe what I'm gonna do is from Afnan go directly to Muxed. So I'll bring Muxed up here. Why is it going to Kupsa? What's going on? Hold on. Kupsa, Afnan, Nuvex, Muxed. Okay. We were just changing waypoints. Okay. So we'll do that. Now obviously we are getting a little bit high vertically on the descent profile. It's not really a big deal. We'll take a more like hands-on speed management. So we'll go on flight level change. We'll reduce 250 knots. Now we're approaching 10,000 feet. So basically for your speed management, try to be at least 250 knots or less, 250 knots or less below 10,000 feet. So already you've reduced your speed, like I'm doing at the moment. You're not zooming down at low level at 300 knots or whatever. So like already 10,000 feet, 250 knots. So you bring the speed a little bit more under control. And on this aircraft, to know your position, your vertical position in the descent, use the vertical deviation indicator here. At the moment it shows we are about 1,300 feet too high,
for landing.
and obviously at the moment it's decreasing, so we're kind of catching up on the profile. To help with the descent, I'm using speed brakes. At the moment you can see the speed brakes are fully extended, but then once we catch up with the profile, which is gonna happen fairly soon, and now back down to about 700 feet, then I can get rid of the speed brakes. Approach checklist.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be arriving at our
Approach
destination
checklist.
shortly.
Altimeters.
If you're making a connecting flight, please see the customer service agent
1025 set.
or the video monitors inside the terminal for connecting gate
1025.
information.
Approach
For
checklist
your
complete.
continued safety, flight attendants will now walk through the cabin to secure it for landing. We'll collect any off-service items, newspapers and any other items that you wish to discard or may not
So
be
now we
taken off the
reached
aircraft with
more or
you.
less the descent
Also, in
profile.
preparation for landing,
So I can
please
stop the
turn
speed
off
brakes
all
and
electronic
follow
devices.
normal
Stow
descent.
these devices within all other
And now we're
carry-on
starting
items.
to be a little bit
Please
low,
use
but doesn't
caution
matter
when
so
opening
much.
the overhead bins, as items may have shifted during our flight. Please stow your tray tables and return
We
your
are
seats to
following
the
the
upright position and
LNAV
check
at
the
this
security
stage,
of your seatbelt.
so we're going to
We'll be
Muxed
landing
and then to
shortly.
Lagma
Thank you.
for the ILS. So there's not really any vectoring, but you kind of get an idea of how to reduce the speed and what your route is gonna be. So let's say that by Muxed, which is it looks like about maybe 10 miles to Lagma, we want to start reducing the speed a little bit more. We're gonna be at about 5,000 feet, so we want to start yeah, fly level change will kind of give you more control. It's more hands-on than VNAV, because the VNAV is a little bit more like automatic.
Check.
So yeah, now we're gonna be about like 5,000 feet, so we can start like below 5,000 feet as well. You can let's say come back to about 220 knots. You know, the up speed. You can see it says up, so you can come back to about 220, 221 knots. And then you're starting to get ready to extend the flaps once your speed comes back. Always keep an eye on the vertical deviation indicator there. For the moment, it's we are slightly low on the profile, but that's okay. It's no big deal. And now Lagma, which is the kind of extended center line, is in 5 miles, so we want to keep reducing the speed. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
So we'll go for flaps 1. And then we'll continue to reduce the speed. On base leg, you want to try to aim for about 190, 180 knots. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Now we're getting the ILS ident, Alpha Zulu Mike. And the speed is coming back, which is good.
Check.
And now we're turning towards the ILS. We've got correct identification. We'll go localizer first. The localizer is captured. Flaps 15.
Flaps 15.
And I'm trying to reduce the speed a little bit. I'm below the glide slope at the moment, and as it reduces the speed, the nose is gonna come up a little bit, the rate of descent is gonna decrease. Arm approach mode, and then we'll manage the energy of the aircraft that way. And in the same process, we'll manage what they call a continuous descent approach. Cabin is ready, which is good. So we're just about to intercept the glide slope. I can reduce the rate of descent a little bit more, but it's gonna pick up now. I say glide slope capture. So once the glide slope is captured, we set the missed approach altitude, which is 4,000. And now, yeah, basically we can maintain by 170 knots to let's say 8 miles or something, and then at 8 miles start configuring for the landing. If it makes sense. Got good visual on the airport. I think it's a reclaimed land. I don't think it's an actual piece of land. I think they had to build like some sort of like island to build the airport on it.
2500.
So that's the radar altimeter
Cabin
through
crew,
the
take your seats.
EGPWS system, giving us 2,500 feet above the ground. So we're at the moment above the water. Still about 9 miles. Actually, I think the DME is wrong here, so we'll start configuring. Gear down. Flaps 20.
Flaps 20.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
So as I said earlier on, for the go-round applies here before selecting the landing flaps. In this case, flaps 30. The gear needs to be down, otherwise you'll get a configuration warning. Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete.
Checklist complete. And that's it. We are all set up for landing now. Approaching 1,000 feet. We're all stabilized on the speed, on the localizer, on the glide slope. The aircraft is ready for landing. We've got a decent amount of thrust, so we are all good.
1,000 feet. Approach stable.
Check.
1000.
Flight director. Flying manually. Wish me luck. It's a good headwind.
3, 4,
17 knots. 43 minutes flying time so far. Get rid of the mouse there. That's it. Check. I don't know if it's the same in rear or not, but the DME there is totally wrong, because it still shows 3 miles.
Approaching minimums.
Landing.
Checked.
Well, should say it now actually.
Minimums.
Minimums.
Landing.
Checked.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Reversers.
Speed brakes up. Reverses normal. $60 knots.
Manual braking.
Check.
And we can make the exit. That was the joystick. I still have like the thrust on the joystick, which doesn't match the actual throttle in the aircraft here, so that's why I had the config warning. Nothing major. And that's it. Welcome to Doha. So we'll start the speed brakes. The weather radar comes off. Okay to clean up.
Check.
"45 minutes exactly."
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion of our flight. Please remain seated
This is
with
the
your
conclusion
seatbelt
of the
fastened
flight.
until the captain
Yes.
has turned off the seatbelt sign and the aircraft is parked safely. This will be your
We are
indication
alive,
that it
yes.
is safe to move around the cabin, gather
We
your
made it.
belongings and disembark. We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. We appreciate your business and we hope to see you once again on a future flight. Thank you.
We appreciate the business. Hey. It's all it is, a business. It's fair enough, I guess. Alright, so we'll come on this taxiway here,
Taxi light on.
and then we'll turn left. So, left here. Or it gives the feeling that you're taxiing in the grass, but the nose wheel is very far behind the flight deck. Anyway, normally we would have like the camera to taxi, but if you use the camera here on the simulator, then the frames, as you probably know, are like totally like killed. So. Right, we turn right here. Does it make sense, Windsilk? What's down? I'm going to go. I'll go maybe Charlie 3, which is straight ahead. We'll go GSX. Charlie 3, yeah, it's for heavies. No, follow me. No, I know where I'm going more or less. Well, I hope so. Dispatcher has been dispatched on site, or marshaller I think it is. Charlie 3 is more or less straight ahead. Is prepared the steps. The APU is running, which is good, and there should be a marshaller. There's nobody on the ground around. That's good. Lights and doors.
Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check.
Alright, let's see if we can park this thing. Not too much. Ah, a little bit too far. Okay. Alright, we're good. Park and brake set. APU is running. The doors need to come manual, so I'll have to do it myself. Disarm. Disarm. Okay, so park and brake set, doors manual, APU running. The engines can come off. You parked a bit too far, yeah? Okay. So he's not gonna do a belly dance then. Oh, shame. 10%. Signal sign off.
Nose light coming off.
And he's gonna do his flow and stuff like that. And I can do my flow as well. So my flow is very easy. It's just the flight director. Come back to the ident page here. I can blank this one, the minimums. 45 minutes, which I think was the flight plan time. Here's the flight plan. 45 minutes, bang on.
I'm ready for the checklist.
Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Parking brake.
Set.
Shutdown checklist complete.
That's pretty much it. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doha. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for following me today. Well, I enjoyed this flight. It was actually good. Took my time to go through the pre-flight and talk a little bit about the FMC setup and the flight deck preparation and the push, taxiing out of Dubai, the climb out and the cruise quickly, set up the arrival for Doha, and had a chance to talk also about managing the speed on the approach and things like that. Managed to do a nice continuous descent approach and a decent landing, so that was a good stream. Thank you very much for joining me today. As I said, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Until next time, thank you very much for joining me today, and I shall love you and leave you until next time. Take care, and I shall see you soon. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.